area of a triangle. So we're going to be looking at the area of a triangle, which could look like this, right? Or it could look like this. So to find the area, so all of this, like what is this? The area of the triangle. We're going to use this formula. 1/2 times the base times the height. Actually, let's put this in green. Just to make a point. So this is considered our base. And what's our height? Well, our height is going to be like right here or right here. So those are the heights of the triangles shown. So how we kind of come up with this formula for area is it's really similar to the last video, like right in our parallelogram. So we have our base times our height, and then we see this 1/2 that we're multiplying it by. So if you were to take a paper and say you wanted to fold it, so you take this corner and you put it onto here, right? So essentially this is where the fold is. So only this is showing, right? That would be a triangle, right? And so that's how you can kind of see where this base times height times 1/2 gives us the area of a triangle. So essentially all we're doing is just folding this over. So you only see this portion, and then this would be right here, right? So that's where we kind of get it from. So we have this rectangle, say, is our base and our height, but we only want to solve for, right, the triangle. So it's essentially all we did here is just we took a paper and we folded it. So you can kind of see where the triangle comes from, where you can see only half of it is there. And so that's how we're solving for it. So that's kind of how they came up with the formula, right? It's like using what we've done, and then we can kind of see where the triangle comes from. That if you were to take out, you see how there's 2 halves here if you were to have a rectangle. But we're only looking at the triangle, so it's only 1/2. Now let's look at some examples. Example 1. A pyramid in Egypt has multiple triangles. So one surface triangle of the pyramid is 62 meters for the height and 100 meters for the base. So we're going to find the area of this surface triangle. So if you see this pyramid, what we're doing is we're looking at this area and we're solving for that. So if we were to take that, what we're saying is we have 62 meters for the height, and then we have 100 meters for the base, right here. So how do we solve for the area of a triangle? Well, it's 1/2 times the base, so 100 times 62, which is our height, and that will give us, right, the area. So how do we solve for this? Well, we can get our calculators out. Put that right there. And so area, if we get our calculator, so we have, so what we can do, we can go 1 divided by 2, which is just gets us 0.5, which is just our fraction as a decimal, right? And we can just go ahead and multiply by 100 times 62, and we get 3,100. So our area is 3,100 meters squared, and we do the squared because it's area. So that doesn't change in terms of area of a different shape. Now let's do another example. Example 2, we're going to find the area of the triangle below. So we see it's kind of an unusual triangle, but it still has the same formula. right? So area equals 1/2 times the base times the height. So how do we solve for this? Well, let's just go fill it in. So we have our base of 4. So we got 1/2 times 4 times our height, which is 2, right? This is our height of 2. This is the number we actually don't really care about. It doesn't actually give us anything to help us solve for this problem. So we don't really care about that information. It's just there to tell you what that length of this side is right here, but it doesn't matter. So our height is 2. So if we were to go ahead and solve, we can put this in our calculators, or we can see this really quick. So when you multiply, right, with fractions like this, and you have multiple ones, notice what really this is looking like. It's 1 times 4 times 2, and then we're just going to go ahead and put the 2 on the bottom. But notice we have a 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom. So this actually can just cancel out to both just be 1, because 2 divided by 2, or 2 over 2, is just 1. So now we see it's a much simpler problem. So we have 1 times 4, which is just 4, and then times another 1 is just 4. So what does this equal? It's just 4. I'm going to put units squared.